Hello, Sana. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
How are you, Ayadan?
And I'm okay.
Are we all ready? Is everybody
Yeah,
ready and happy?
yes,
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. The Hamas-led attack of October 7th, 2023, sparked a war that rages to this day. It has forced millions from their homes, injured hundreds of thousands, and killed tens of thousands. It has created millions of stories of loss, struggle, and survival against the odds. This is one of those stories. Sanaa Kamal is a freelance journalist from Gaza City.
I have been working as a journalist for 19 years. I have produced hundreds of stories about the situation inside Gaza, in particular the humanitarian stories reflecting the life inside Gaza.
Like so many people in Gaza, Sanaa's life has been changed beyond all recognition and sanity. My name is Hugo Goodrich. I'm a journalist and producer at the New Arab in London. And last year, Sanaa reached out to me and asked to share her story. Joining me for this was Yazin Al-Sadi.
I am the international correspondent editor. I've been working with the New Arab for more than 3 years now, and I've been working in journalism less than Sanaa, actually. I've been working for about 15 years.
This is Sanaa's Odyssey, Episode 1. A morning coffee on a balcony in Gaza.
I lived in one of the most beautiful areas in the Gaza Strip, in the whole Gaza Strip. It was called Tal al-Hawa neighborhood.
Tal al-Hawa roughly translates to Mount of the Wind or Mount of the Air, along those lines.
Tal al-Hawa neighborhood is closest to the sea beach. In addition, I live in an apartment. It was in the 8th floor. So every day when I would like to take my coffee or Nescafe, I had to stand on my balcony just to drink my coffee and to see the boats in the sea and how the fishermen catch their fish every day. Every day, this skin, I saw it every day.
In her apartment on the 8th floor, Sanaa lived with her mother, brother, and sister. Tal al-Hawa would probably be best described as a middle-class and relatively affluent neighborhood.
Tal al-Hawa neighborhood was distinguished that it had a lot of high buildings, towers, a lot of houses, beautiful houses, villas. Most of the residents of Tal al-Hawa were classified as high-level people. Not high-level people just for money, but also because most of the residents of Tal al-Hawa were educated people, like doctors, engineers, managers, banks employees, like that. So we had our own life that very simply, but actually it was very beautiful for us.
In a land where in 2022 over 80% of the population lived below the poverty line and where 64% were food insecure, according to the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East, Sanaa and her family lived in relative financial security. But all lives in Gaza exist in the shadow of the Israeli blockade, which began in 2007 and severely limited the entry of goods and materials into Gaza and placed strict restrictions on the movement of Gazans.
Sanaa, just to touch on that question a bit more, can you just describe that life that you had, even with the difficulties? So what does that mean for people when you say it was challenging with an embargo? What does that mean for you as life before October 7th?
Before the 7th October, all the people inside Gaza, all the time we felt that we live inside a big prison because of the Israeli blockade. So when I had many chances to leave Gaza, just to travel to Egypt, to Turkey, to Jordan, to any other countries, every time when I left Gaza, I felt that it's my really freedom, because I was so lucky to pass Gaza and to pass the Rafah border, as well as I was banned by the Israeli army to cross the area to crossing. But to be honest, when I left Gaza, every time when I leave Gaza, after 1 week, only 1 week, I missed Gaza, and I came back to there, because inside Gaza, I felt that this is my area, this is my life, this is my character inside Gaza, despite all the challenges that I faced because of the Israeli army blockade and the Israeli army violations against us. But to be honest, when I succeed in any level in my life, in personal life, or even in my career life, I felt that this is the real successful for me as a Palestinian woman who lived inside Gaza. So my details in Gaza, my life in Gaza, and even my failure also, because as you know, to face and to challenge difficulties, you will fail every time, or many times, just to arrive your successful point. So it wasn't easy, but to be honest, there I felt that my life stopped inside Gaza when I left it.
Ever since Hamas took control of the coastal enclave in 2007, the governance of Gaza has been highly contentious. The blockade was justified, in Israel's opinion, because of the ongoing rule of Hamas in Gaza.
On my personal experience under the Hamas government, I wasn't against Hamas government totally, because I considered it as well as all the Arab governments in our Middle East area, because we know that the governments are not advantaged by their people all the time.
Effectively, as a governing body, Hamas were no worse than other Arab governments in the region.
For women, Hamas wasn't against the woman, and it hadn't imposed anything against women. And as a woman, I had my own freedom in moving, in living, in my work, in addition. But as a journalist, for sure, I had many problems with Hamas, because it had only deal with the journalist insecurity levels and phases, so that we had some problems with them. But to be honest, I had never against as their normal life, or their dealing with our normal life.
But it wasn't always Hamas. Prior to the blockade, the Palestinian Authority ruled Gaza, a period that Sanaa also experienced.
The truth, actually, like when we were under the Palestinian Authority, the situation wasn't much better than Hamas, because the Palestinian Authority also had a lot of corruption inside Gaza. In addition, I remember that we had many armed groups that belonging to Fatah and to the Palestinian Authority, that all the time fighting fought their opposite people, or the people from Hamas. To be honest, and at that time, I felt that, okay, why Fatah killed Hamas? Why Fatah or the Palestinian Authority arrested Hamas? They are people. They are resistant people. So we should respect them, because the only party that was have the power to resist Israel, and to defend our people inside Gaza against the Israeli endless violations against us in Gaza, not only in Gaza, but also in the West Bank. So all the time we have two ideologies, Hamas and Fatah, but both of them, unfortunately, both of them, if I can say that, didn't give our people and the Palestinian people inside Gaza what they deserve. They didn't give the life for our people inside Gaza.
In Sanaa's experience, Hamas were far from the caring and benevolent leaders that the coastal enclave and its people needed. Their rule was also a period of instability, with a near constant threat that war could break out. And it did, on multiple occasions, with devastating impacts on the civilian population.
It took many decisions to involve in wars with Israel without taking or without thinking about the people. Because when a government or when a Palestinian movement that controlling and ruling more than 2 million people, it should think about the population, not only think about itself or I think about the other Palestinian parties. I know maybe they were forced or Hamas was forced to involve in this war with Israel because of the Israeli blockade that imposed on us for more than 17 years. But it shouldn't be like this because of the 7th October, we lost all our life, not only our lives as people, but also it has very negative impacts on our Palestinian issue because the 7th of October has turned our life, has turned our issue, has turned even our future. Now, neither me nor any other Palestinian inside Gaza can imagine what will happen in next day, next week, next month, next years. We don't know anything. We don't know also if our Palestinian issue will revive once again and if the Palestinian population will rebuild their houses and even themselves, not only their houses. We need to rebuild ourselves and the Palestinian people before rebuild our Palestinian issue.
Between the sporadic conflicts that would upturn lives, leave tens or hundreds dead, and often thousands wounded, and the unrelenting blockade that impacted the lives of Gazans every single day, life in Gaza was a challenge.
But my life has totally changed and totally turned upside down after the 7th October because I even lost all my life and my life details that all the time. I was trying and challenging all the difficulties inside Gaza to live at least in suitable living in addition security life despite the 6 Israeli wars that imposed and that carried out against us inside Gaza. So it wasn't very good, but it's excellent compared with the current life.
Hamas launched their attack on the morning of October 7th, 2023.
At 6:25 a.m., I was carrying my Nescafe cup and stand on my balcony and taking my daily cup of Nescafe. Suddenly, I saw that dozens or hundreds of rockets in the sky, suddenly without any prior notice. I remember that. I saw and I looked at them. I told myself, what's happening? What's happening? What's up? Then my family walked up and came to my balcony because it was looking at the northern part of Gaza. In addition, in the west part, and we can see the sea from my balcony. And then all of them, I remember that my mom was crying, hurrying up to me and crying. She told me, Sana, what's happening? They will kill us? Who's launching the rockets? For half an hour, we saw these rockets They were thousands of rockets, not one, not two, not 10, not hundreds. No, they were thousands. And we didn't know where they were.
At first, Sanaa believed it to be an attack by the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. The previous day, they had held a festival in the Kativa neighbourhood of Gaza City, not far from Sanaa's apartment. During that festival, the Palestinian Islamic Jihad had threatened Israel, telling the crowd,
"You will hear something you have never imagined it." I remember the sentence.
At the time, no one could have predicted what that meant.
Until that moment, we didn't know that Hamas who launched the rockets. When Muhammad al-Dayf, the Major General of the Qassam Brigade, the armored wing of Hamas, when he did his speech and told and announced about طوفان الأقصى,
we have decided to put an end to all of the occupation's crimes. The time is over for them to act without accountability. Thus, we announced the Al-Aqsa flood operation.
فإننا نعلن بدء عملية طوفان الأقصى كما أننا نعلن بعون الله.
And in the first strike within 20 minutes, more than 5,000 rockets were launched. Starting from today, the security coordination ends. To prove that your homeland and your belonging to Al-Aqsa and Quds and Palestine are greater than all the delusions of the occupation. Today, yes, today the people reclaim their revolution, correct their path, and return to the project of liberation and the establishment of a state.
I felt that we will witness one of the most dangerous wars against Gaza.
This was not the first war that Sanaa had experienced, and she knew that it was time to prepare.
We went to the supermarket and we bought a lot of goods because we surely that we will witness a war and the shops will close, the bakeries will close, like that. So we bought many things for including especially food and water, in addition some other kinds of food, and put them inside our house. Directly I moved to my room because it had a big window. It's from the over the wall. So I turned my room to an office to work inside it.
What was the feeling if you're in that supermarket? Was it everybody panicking, or was there more of a sense of, sadly, Gaza has experienced war before, and it was the sort of get into that mindset of, right, we know what we've got to do, we've got a vague idea of what to expect, we need to prepare, let's go for it. What's the sense you were getting from those people around you?
Yeah, actually the people, all of us, not the people, also we were in panic attack because of the rockets. We hadn't, at that time, I remember that Israel hadn't also attacked Gaza. Israel attacked Gaza a day after of the Hamas attack, not during the same day. The next day, on October 8th, Israel started to attack Gaza, to large scale attack Gaza. But during 7 October, all the people inside Gaza, all the people live under the panic attack, in addition under the worry and anxiety because they didn't know what will Israel do, what Israel would like to do against Gaza. We all know that Israel will launch a large-scale war, but we had never imagined that Israel will destroy the whole Gaza.
Sanaa and her family prepared for the war with food and supplies, and Sanaa had converted a room into a home office to allow her to continue working. They were giving themselves the best chance to stay fed and watered, and for Sanaa to continue working. It was good thinking, and for a couple of days, it worked. But on October 10th,
the whole Tal el-Hawa neighborhood around me were evacuated by the Israeli army. But I remember also that my mom, once she heard the thousands of rockets, she prepared a bag of our documents like identities, passports, and our jewelry, only these stuff that she got with her once when we left our house. All of us, we thought that we will move just for a few hours, few minutes, and once the Israeli army attack their targets or the places that they wanted them, we will come back.
When did you realize that wasn't going to happen?
To be honest, I didn't realize anything. The only thing that I realized is that I'm a journalist, and during the wars and conflict, I completely separate between my mind and my emotions separately. I, in addition, I only think in my mind as a journalist, not as a human, not as a woman who should protect herself from the Israeli attacks. In addition, I hadn't felt tears at that time. The only thing that I did just open my camera and documenting what was happening around me, and did many interviews with people in the road while they were escaping, like that. Only this. Once I left my apartment, we went to the apartment or the flat of my brother. It's in the same area, in the same square, sorry, in Tal Hawa also, but it was in outskirts of Tal Hawa. And we went there and stayed there just for 10 minutes, only 10 minutes, until the International Red Cross came to us and told me that Sana, you should leave the whole area, the whole square. I asked them why. I was all good with them, and somebody with them told me, Sana, they will attack the closest restaurant of falafel. It was close to my brother's house.
Asana argued with the International Red Cross, insisting that she will not leave. Their point was already being proven.
Suddenly, I saw a very big missile. And it was launched at the restaurant. It was only 10 meters between my brother's house and the restaurant. And then the Israeli army attacked it by 3 missiles, 3 huge missiles. Everything around us became black. I saw a white cloud around us without without breathe all the time. Then I decided and I asked my brother to take my mother, our sisters-in-laws, my sister, and the children to escape them and to evacuate them from the house, and ask him to go to the central area of Gaza. I remember at that time, I decided this. Just I wanted to evacuate my mother because she's elderly woman, in addition children, in addition their mothers. But me, my brother, and my 3 brothers, we are youth and we are young men, people. We can escape on foot, like that. After that, we were forcibly to run on foot for 1 hour under the Israeli attack, under the ongoing Israeli attack on our area. Until we reached to our brothers, my second brother's house, it was out of Tal El Hawa, and we spent our night there. To be honest, it was the most terrifying night in my life because I was forcibly to live under maybe about 5,000 Israeli attacks in my area. I saw Tal El Hawa and my square. It was lightning with red fire, and then it was turned down. Suddenly, 5,000 attacks based on the Israeli army statement that was released at that time. Once the sun rises, I rushed to my house square. And to be honest, I was shocked. In addition, I haven't any word to describe the situation or to tell myself about what was happening. The only thing that I remember that I just saw all my area square turned to rubbles, all of it. There were no streets, no houses, no towers, no people, no shops, nothing. The only thing that I had seen there, the rubbles, the smell of smokes, the smell of fire, the smell of the death. Yes, the smell of the death. When I look at the eyes of the people in the streets, and mainly the people who came to inspect their houses, do you know what I see? I saw their destruction future in their eyes. I saw the destruction of their lives. I saw the tears on the eyes of the men. It's not easy for the Palestinian men to cry. All the Palestinian men that I met them and I talked with them and I tried just to tell them, I'm sorry, we will rebuild our area. All of them cried. Some of them scared, and others have nothing to say. Just keep their silent, look at their distracted houses, their parent houses, and cried. Just only like this. We even didn't have time to inspect our houses or to get some stuff from our houses because the Israeli army only gave us 2 hours just to see our destruction and to send their own message to us that this is what Hamas bring to you.
You say, you didn't have long to take stuff from your house. What would you wished you had taken?
Yeah, actually, I wish to take my hard memories of my work because I have two hearts disk hard inside my house that had my archives of my work for 19 since I started my work as a journalist until I left my house. Actually, this is the most important thing. The other thing that I wish to take is the photo of my father.
I'm sorry you lost that.
Because actually it was a big and in our salon inside my flat, and anyone enters my house, they should see it because as my father used to wait our guests on the door of our house, and he used to welcome them all the time. So the second thing that I wish to take it was the photo of my father. Only this thing. Otherwise, if I wish to take, no, I will take actually all my flat, all of it, with walls, with memories, uh, with the glasses, with our furniture, everything, because everything that I had in my flat, it has a memory, and it has an maybe event. In addition, because when you build your life, you have your own memories, and you have own events, and you have own people, and everything related to something, everything, even the colors of my furniture. When we used and when we produced our furniture and bought them, even the color, it's their colors had something in our minds and in our memories. I would like to take all of them, but to be honest, I would like to keep them there and just to come back there. Can you imagine and can you understand the mixed feelings that would like to take them? And no, you should keep them there. You should go there. It's very complicated emotions and feelings that you must. For me, I must live under them all the time.
Inti, when you were leaving the house, what were you able to take with you? شو أخذتي معك لما طلعتي من البيت؟
And nothing. I just took my laptop, only my laptop.
Just your laptop?
My laptop and actually the brace vest.
The press vest.
Yeah,
What do you feel about the press vest?
it was my identity.
It was your identity. Is it
Yes,
not your identity now? Why do you say that? You're still a journalist, aren't you?
yes, I'm a journalist, but when you praise inside Gaza, I remember that when I was in the field during the war and even during the peace, if we can say that, the peace. But during the war, when the people saw me and saw all the journalists who wore the breast vest, what they did, they came to us and they asked us all the time, will we back to Gaza? Will we back to our houses? My press vest is my really identity, my real identity, not my national ID, nor my passport. My identity is my press vest, and I liked it very much.
As the sun sort of set on that first day, what did you think the next day was going to hold, or the next week, or the next month? I mean, your feelings at that time, do you have any sort of strong memories of that?
Since the first moment I was forcibly evacuated my house, all the time I was optimism all the time that I will come back to my house soon.
You still had that optimism?
Yeah, I kept my optimism all the time and all during the war that I will come back to my house soon. All my family laughed at me several times that, oh, you are dreaming. We will never back to our house. I told all the time, I argued with them and I fought with them that no, we will back to our house. I will back to my area. I will back to my flat. I told my mother several times, maybe hundreds of times, I will come back to my house and my flat and I will take my coffee on my balcony and where I will return my normal life inside Gaza City. All the time.
The war in Gaza started in the immediate aftermath of the Hamas-led attack. On the first day, October 7th, Israeli forces attacked the north of the Gaza Strip. On day 2, they began targeting Gaza City. On October 10th, they started targeting Sanaa's neighbourhood. As dawn broke on the 11th, Sanaa and her family had been forcibly displaced 3 times. And their story was just beginning. On the next episode of Sanaa's Odyssey, war rages in Gaza and Sanaa and her family try to survive.
Any place that I will be displaced to it doesn't mean that it will be safe place.
This episode was written and produced by me, Hugo Goodridge. It featured Sanaa Kamal and Yazan El-Sadi, with additional help from Oliver Mitzi. You can follow all the latest developments in Gaza and across the Middle East by visiting the New Arabs website.